Hey guys, Jake here. Welcome to my first YouTube video of many more to come. I'm probably going to be starting out multiple different series just to help keep the videos organized. Um, this first one will be starting out with motion matching. I know it's a big deal. Epic is supposed to be releasing a 500 animation motion matching pack sometime this year, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, guys, if you have any suggestions or you want me to work on anything specific, I can upload videos on that. I'll try my best. But yeah, here we go. Let's get into it. So in your Unreal or in your Epic launcher, you're going to be in the Unreal tab. If you do not have the Lyra starter game, you're going to want to go get it from the Samples tab. Get it right here. Going to want to make sure you have that project set up because we're going to be using it for some animations. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to launch Unreal. Once you launch Unreal, you're going to be in the project browser. We're going to go to Games, Third Person, use the Third Person template. You can keep these settings to whatever you have them to or whatever you like. We'll call this one Motion Matching. Okay, so once we're in here, you're going to want to go up to Edit, Plugins, and then up here in Search, type in Traject or Traj. Make sure Motion Trajectory is enabled. Yes. You're going to type in Search, get the Pose Search API, and we're going to restart. Okay. Now that we're back, you can verify by typing them in again. You can see it's enabled. Now, we're going to go over to our Lyra starter game. This will be what you're greeted with when the project loads up. You're just going to want to open the content drawer. The default keybind is Control and Spacebar. That'll open it right up. Now on the side, you're going to want to go to Characters, Heroes, Mannequin. Then we're going to go to Animations, Locomotion, Unarmed, and in here I do have filters set up. You can set them up yourself by clicking this drop down here with the three lines, and these are all the filters you can choose to have on the side here. Select animation sequence because I just want the animations. We're going to Control A, select all of them, right click, go to Asset Actions, Migrate. We don't need all of this. You can export it if you'd like, but it's just stuff you don't need. So I like to just click the top folder game so that it unchecks everything. Then go back down, click the Locomotion folder. It'll recheck all of that because we do not need the anim modifiers. We do not need the animation notifies. We just want all these nice animations. We don't need materials, none of this, because this is the skeleton. Effects, we don't want them. Just taking the animations. So then you're going to browse to your project folder, content folder, and select that folder. It's going to migrate. Make sure you select your project's content folder. The default save location for that is going to be in your documents folder. It'll be in an Unreal projects folder. So now we don't need the starter game open anymore. Back in here, you will see under the Characters tab, we now have a Heroes folder, Mannequin, Animations, Locomotion, Unarmed, and we have all of our animations from Lyra. You might be wondering why it still has a Lyra character in there. I think it's just like the thumbnail is still set to that. It doesn't have a skeleton right now, so what you're going to want to do is Control A, select all of the animations, right click again, Asset Actions. Actually, no. We don't need to go to Asset Actions. You're just going to right click and click Replace Skeleton. We're going to replace it with the skeleton we're currently using in the default third person template, which is SK_mannequin. Okay. And there you go. All of the animation assets are now set to our skeleton that we're using. Control-Shift-S to save everything. It's a good habit to get into. You'll see me doing it a lot. You'll see the save prompt popping up a lot. It just becomes natural habit after a while. Okay, so now that we have all these, you can click them to see that they work. We even have all of those notifies. Okay, so now what we're going to want to do is down in our third person folder, I'm going to go into blueprints. We have BP underscore third person. Take that, drag it back to here. If your windows keep popping up like that and they don't tab themselves or dock themselves, you can go to edit, go to editor preferences. Down here, you'll see asset editor open location. It's set to default. You want to go to main window. Now every time you open something, it should auto dock up at the top in the same window instead of opening multiples. And then of course you could drag them off if you need to use them again separately or on another monitor. So what we're going to do in here is you see on the side under class defaults under animation, we're set to the Quinn animation blueprint by default. We don't need to use that one. In our third person blueprint folder, we can right click, go to animation, animation blueprint, select our skeleton, SK underscore mannequin, name your animation blueprint whatever you like. I do ABP underscore third person. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to change, in our third person character, we're going to change our anim class from ABP Quinn to ABP third person, or the one that you created. Now, what we're going to want to do in our third person character under components, go to add, and then you can type in trajectory. And it will come up with character trajectory component, and that's from the trajectory plugin that we enabled. So, now we have that all set in the character. We don't really need to do anything else here. We can go into the animation blueprint. It's going to throw you in the anim graph. So starting in the anim graph, we can right click, we can type in motion matching. It's underneath post search, motion matching. Now we're going to go into here and we're going to do history. It's going to be pose history. Connect that. The pose history node's asking for the trajectory. We need to get that. So to get that, go up top, go to the event graph. We don't want to do it off of update right now. What we're going to do is get our references off of the initialize. So we'll do initialize animation. Just to keep it simple, we're going to cast. In future videos, I will go into blueprint interfaces. It just helps optimize the stuff, keeps it cleaner. You're not creating a bunch of hard references, as you probably know from other tutorials. So we'll just start with a cast just so you have the understanding of how it works. Replacing the cast with the interface later is easy. So from Try-Get Pawn Owner, we will cast to BP third person character. We're going to get that. As BP third person character, we're going to right click, promote it to a variable. Then we can drag back off of as BP third person character, and we're going to want to get the character movement component, which will be all the way at the bottom. Right click, promote to variable, connect that up. Now we're good here. We've got our references. Now off of the event blueprint update animation, which will happen every frame, on tick, we're going to take our as BP third person character reference. We're going to get it. Then we're going to drag off of it and we're going to type in trajectory. And we're going to get character trajectory. Off of that, we're going to right click it, promote that to a variable, and save that. So now, on the update, we will be getting our character trajectory every frame. Back in the anim graph, you're going to right click on trajectory where it says binding. You're going to click that. Down here under properties, you do not want as BP, you want to go to the one under it, character trajectory, because that's our variable that we created and saved, and then trajectory. Now it's set right here, character trajectory. Okay, now let's set up the database. Right click, animation, motion matching, pose search schema. Select our SK mannequin, PSS for pose search schema, and we're going to just call it unarmed locomotion. Okay. Now, animation, motion matching, pose search database. We're going to use PSS unarmed locomotion, our schema. This will be PSD for pose search database, unarmed locomotion. Okay, we've got that. And then we're going to create one more in the animations tab, motion matching, pose search normalization set, PSNS locomotion. I believe normalization sets are more used as you expand on the complexity of your locomotion system with multiple databases. It helps normalize between them. I don't think you necessarily need it for basic ones, but it's just, again, a good habit to have. Go into it, click the plus, make sure you select your post search database. You can add more later. Okay, now we need to do one thing to the animations that we took from the Lyra pack. So we can go back into the folder where we replaced all those skeletons. We can Control A to select all, right click, Asset Actions, Edit Selection in Property Matrix. In here, you do not need to select all of these. It will automatically adjust the settings you select here on all of them. So Enable Remotion has a line through it. That means that some of them have it on, some of them don't. So you're just going to click it, disable it, and enable it. Now all of them have it since it's checked. We're going to do that for Force Root Lock. Save. Now we're good. We're going to go back to our database, our PSD underscore unarmed locomotion. In here it is empty. So now what we can do is we can get, you can type in your Lyra animations, search for underscore unarmed underscore jog. Now you have all the jogging animations for the male. MF stands for female, MM is male. Select all, drop them in here. We're using the pivots and everything, start, stops, pivots. I've seen some videos where they don't include the pivots. I'm not sure why. It seems to work just fine with the setup. So do this. These are all good. It shows here root motions enabled by that arrow icon. Let's see. We can now look for unarmed. Okay, you can see root motions enabled here. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go back into our animation blueprint. In motion matching for the database, select our database, compile, and there you go. He's twitching like that because we don't have a idle animation. So what we're going to want to do is where it says jog, we can look for idle. We can just use idle ready. You can open that, loop it, make sure looping's enabled, root motion's enabled, root lock's enabled, we're good. Now we can add that idle sequence into here. And now they are idling normally. So we are all set. Now when we play, you'll see we're idling, and when we move, he does the start animation, starts running. If we switch directions, he'll pivot and turn. Good, that's all working. Now if you want the full effect of it, what you can really do is go into the third person character, go to the character movement component, go to search, type in rotation, disable orient rotation and movement, and enable use controller desired rotation. Now, when you move, you can go forward, backwards, right, left, and the pivoting works. Everything works. So that'll do it for this first tutorial, guys. In the next one, I'll be covering crouching and jumping, and then we might go into having weapons, little overlays, stuff like that. If you enjoyed the video, please take the time to like it, and please take the time to subscribe. It means a lot to me. I put a lot of effort into this, and I hope to continue to bring you guys more content. Thanks again. This is Jake signing off, guys. Have a good one.